Before being councillor in Barcelona, which is a very important job, I did a not so important job, which was sitting in Madrid in the Spanish Congress as a congressman. Now, I got to hear lots of things there. One of the debates which was raging at that time, especially connected to your referendum, was whether Scotland and Catalonia were the same thing or whether they were very different things. From Spanish politicians, before the referendum, we got the message that we were absolutely different countries, nothing to do between Catalonia and Scotland. After the referendum and after the no vote won, we were very similar, believe it or not. So, because we would go the same way, exactly the same way. Now, let me just give you a couple of things. I think there are big similarities and also big differences. So let me just outline some of those. What's the main difference between Catalonia and Scotland?
The food, the drink, the climate, the people.
No, look, it's nice.
What we all do here?
It's nicer here than when I left Barcelona. So things are changing there also. The big political difference is not between Catalonia and Scotland, but between Spain and the UK.
Yeah.
That's a big difference. Now you might say, no, look, the UK, the British government is horrible. They're big foes. They're opposing everything. But I think there's honestly not much to compare. Let me ask you things like, do you think did you ever have a Scottish president of Scotland, killed by a military fascist regime which was an ally of Adolf Hitler? In fact, this Catalan president, who was called Luis Companys, was handed over by Hitler to General Franco so that he could be killed by his squadrons. I think you never had anything of the sort in recent times, right? Did you ever have your main Conservative party campaigning against independence? Of course, yes, we know about that, but did you ever have it being founded by a minister of Franco who signed death sentences against political opponents, who was actually a minister of a fascist dictator, somebody like Goebbels in Germany? Did you ever have somebody like that founding the British Conservative Party? I guess the tradition is different there. Did you ever have a minister of culture in recent years, 2 years ago, a minister of the British government saying that we should anglicize Scottish kids? Did you ever have? Did you ever have? Yeah, okay. Well, there we are at a draw. Did you ever have a referendum being banned, prohibited by the British government? Not acting. Just a second. Not acting against independence. Of course, I think we understand that people are against independence in Britain. Some people, but actually actively against democracy, so that people cannot vote. Did you ever see Alex Salmond or Nicola Sturgeon going to court for making the vote possible and being indicted and being threatened to be sent to jail by putting the polling booths in the street? Did you ever have that? Well, we're having that all the time. Did you have, like the British Prime Minister denying that Scotland was a nation? Let's be honest. I mean, you got other kind of things and horrible things if you want, but it's not exactly the same, I would say. So probably that explains one of the main differences, and I think that explains very well why people like Liz Castro and her colleagues from the Catalan National Congress can take out into the streets 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million people to campaign not only for independence, but also for democracy, for freedom, for being able to vote about the future. That makes things much bigger, much more popular, much more democratic, and much more connected to basic human rights. So there we have a difference. Does that make us better, more fortunate? Well, I don't know. It makes things different. Sometimes we tend to be quite unhappy by having to fight and to struggle on a daily basis for obvious things, like the right to vote about your future. But if you look at it from outside, you might also say, like one SMP member told me once in Barcelona, how lucky you are because you have a very big and clear enemy. Yeah, that can help sometimes. It can help you to bring out people massively into the street. Similarities, there are some, of course. Was Scotland a strong medieval kingdom? Yeah, Catalonia as well. Did things happen in the 1700s? Did you lose part of your sovereignty? Yes, Catalonia also. So on a historical basis, we're quite similar, or some things are parallel. Did you recover self-rule sometime in the late 20th century? Yes, like we did, okay? So we're not so different there. Do you have around 7 million people living here in this country? Yeah, more or less like us. Do you link your pro-independence movement to welfare, to improving people's condition? Do you link it like to left-wing parties who are campaigning also to improve the lot of working class people? Yes, we also have that. So in that regard, in that aspect, we are not so different. Our countries can be similar. Do you link your national condition and national freedom to the European Union, to your condition as Europeans, to the right you have to vote also about your inclusion or your staying in the European Union? Is anybody threatening you about being expelled or being pushed out of the European Union? Well, we also get that. Okay. So yes, in a way we do have strong similarities, but I would say that the strongest one is not about condition, about history, about material environment. I would say the biggest similarity between you guys and us is the spirit. We share the same positive fighting spirit. We never give up, and we will never give up, and we know it. And we will fight to the end, democratically, because we know that we're not better than any other nation, but we're not less than any other nation. So we have exactly the same right. And Catalonia and Scotland, people in Catalonia and in Scotland know that. So that's why at the very end, basic things, we are very similar. Nobody can tell us what we have to do with our future. We will decide. Nobody can tell us if we have to remain European or stop being European. We will decide that ourselves. And we have it very clear in mind. And that boils down to spirit, to the way we have of being a nation. We will not stop being a nation. We will not stop seeking for freedom, for welfare, for social justice. We will do it, whatever happens. So there. People, we will never walk alone. We will walk hand in hand, always, whatever happens.